Bayern vs PSG, the main battles of the Champions League. Hello, welcome to our channel. First of all, subscribe and leave your like. Bayern Munich face Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16 of the Champions League, a heavyweight clash between clubs that faced each other in the 2020 final. AFP Sport looks at some of the key clashes that could determine where the tie is won and lost ahead of Tuesday's first leg. Christophe Galtier vs Julian Nagelsmann. After a strong start domestically, PSG's form has dipped considerably since the turn of the year, and manager Galtier finds himself entering a critical period of the season without Kylian Mbappe. The France star, top scorer in the Champions League this season with 7 goals, will miss the first leg with a thigh injury, and there are also concerns for Lionel Messi after the Argentine injured his hamstring during Wednesday's 2-1 defeat for Marseille in the French Cup. With Neymar still not rediscovering his best form since the World Cup, Galtier must hatch a plan that will allow a diminished PSG, whose side were also hit with a stomach ailment at the weekend, to avoid another European disappointment. Bayern appeared to have turned things around after going through what manager Nagelsmann called a results crisis after 3 consecutive draws last month. Nagelsmann, 35, has also been hampered by injuries to key players, but the club brought cover in January and expectations remain as high as ever in Bavaria. Gianluigi Donnarumma v Jan Sommer. The Italian goalkeeper made a costly mistake when PSG were knocked out by Real Madrid in the round of 16 a year ago, but has now established himself as a first-choice goalkeeper. PSG reached the semi-finals at least twice with Keylor Navas in goal before the arrival of Donnarumma, whose signing was aimed at helping the French champions clinch Europe's highest club prize. Bayern have signed Swiss goalkeeper Jan Sommer to replace Manuel Neuer, who will miss the rest of the season after breaking his leg while skiing in December. Sommer, 34, has previous Champions League experience with Borussia Mönchengladbach and Basel, but the scrutiny will be much sharper with the 6-time European champions. Germany trio v Verratti. Bayern should have the upper hand in midfield, with Germany internationals Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka patrolling the central areas and the impressive Jamal Musiala in a more advanced role. Musiala, who is yet to turn 20, is Bayern's top scorer with 14 goals, while few midfielders in the world are as complete as Goretzka and Kimmich. However, it is a long-standing area of weakness for PSG, heavily reliant on Marco Verratti, whose fitness is again in question with the Italian receiving treatment for a sore hip. Fabian Ruiz and Carlos Soler haven't settled in since arriving in the summer. Vitinha's form has deteriorated and Renato Sanchez is expected to miss both games with a hamstring problem. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting v Sergio Ramos. Choupo-Moting was on the losing side after coming late to PSG in the final 3 years ago, his last appearance in an underwhelming spell in the French capital. Bayern looked like an unlikely next destination for the Cameroon striker, but his contribution this season to a side dealing with the departure of Robert Lewandowski and the absence of Sadio Mane cannot be understated. His 13 goals are second only to Musiala, and his ability to fill the centre-back gives Bayern's most dynamic strikers, such as Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sane, extra space to deal damage. Ramos has been signed to bring more depth and experience to PSG, but the 36-year-old has played far more regularly than expected, with Presnel Kimpembe sidelined through injury. Lionel Messi v Dayot Upamecano. Less than 2 months after the World Cup final, Dayot Upamecano will again be tasked with shutting down Messi, assuming he plays, as Galtier insists he will. Messi, a 7-time Ballon d'Or winner, had the last laugh in Doha with 2 goals and an assist on the other before converting on penalties. Upamecano has started all of Bayern's league games this term, growing in stature after an up-and-down first season in Bavaria. PSG's attack is not the same without Mbappe's blistering pace, but Messi and Neymar could still pose plenty of problems for a Bayern defense bolstered by the recent signing of Joao Cancelo. I hope you enjoyed the video. What is your opinion on the main battles of the Champions League?